On the Boards is one of the few organizations that operates on a local, regional, national, and international scale. We bring artists here from all over the world, and we create the space and provide resources for artists from this region to go other places. It's amazing to me when I'm someplace else and I tell them I work at On the Boards and they know us. There aren't many organizations that are incubating work and working with artists at every stage of their career, from people who are at the tippy top of their game and revered in the art world to people who are just starting out and trying something new. On the Boards is fully functioning on all those levels.
I think what makes artists want to work at On the Boards is not just the generosity of our staff and our team, as well as the community's ability to go on these artistic adventures with them, but the care that we take in producing each and every one of these works. How we think about bringing the audience in from the start of the work to the end of the work, and how they get direct feedback from the audience. And their visions are able to create a fuller picture of what they want to do. I think On the Boards is a unique space across the country. I think there are very few arts organizations that allow artists creative freedom, flexibility, a certain amount of nimbleness, and to be able to test ideas out while they're still in process. And this is what I think makes artists keep coming back again and again to try their different ideas out over a period of time.
On the Boards was founded by artists in 1978 or 79, depending on who you're talking to. Our articles of incorporation say 1979, but the artists say 1978. It's got a really special feel. When you walk in, it is very welcoming and warm, and the people that you see in the lobby, you kind of want to talk to them. It's a place, and even when On the Boards was at Washington Hall, it was one of the few places when I first moved to Seattle that I was really totally okay going by myself because I knew I would meet someone there.
It's been fantastic to come here from my hometown of Houston and to feel welcomed into this family of audience goers, art lovers, contemporary performance artists, and to watch different people come through the doors of the lobby, but also to travel to different cities and say that I work for On the Boards, and then people's faces light up and they tell me a story about the first time that they came to On the Boards, or they talk about a film that they saw on the Boards TV that brought them closer to the organization. And that sense of reach that On the Boards has across the world is truly fantastic. I think about artistic risk as an ability that an arts organization has to respond to an artist's idea in the full scope of the idea, and that we kind of go down the rabbit hole with the artist. And we think about their imagination, their creativity, their worldview, and how we can bring that vision to a public. It means not thinking about it in terms like a finished product or taking artistic risk is that you're dreaming alongside the artist. You're imagining what the possibility of an artwork, of a live performance could be. I think arts organizations like this, they're so rare, and it's so important to continue to support and champion them. These kinds of spaces where experimental intellectual thought can happen, where the pushing out of different cultural ideas, where various artists from all different backgrounds, all different races and perspectives can have a home and space here to share their creative practice with an audience, that is so important. And especially in this moment when we're in a time where adventurous, artistic art and ideas is sometimes questioned of its value or its efficacy. It's so important to have spaces like On the Boards to continue to exist and to be able to bring that art and ideas to the public. I think live performance can take you down a rabbit hole, can shift your perspective about the world, can teach you about a different culture, can share a totally different worldview than you have, and really question maybe your own perspective, or share with you a different historical moment. Think about different ways of being and existing in the world, or imagine a world that isn't quite there yet, and bring it and imagine it into the future.
So one of the things that's great about On the Board's audience and its community is they're not just connected to the art. Yes, they love it, or they hate it, or they feel passionately about it, but they're connected to each other. I've talked to so many people who have gotten to know each other here, who have sat next to each other at a studio supper and shared a meal, and have become friends who make plans to keep coming on the same nights and see art together other places around town. And I'm thrilled that On the Boards can be that kind of place that brings people together.
This past year has been super challenging for artists and arts organizations in thinking about how to make and produce their work. We have been fortunate that we have a building that we can allow artists to use safely with our staff. So artists have been using it in a number of different ways for experimental residencies where they explore different video installation techniques, full dance film productions where they're capturing footage with their dancers that they're bringing, either live streaming or recording it and then broadcasting it later. We've also had musicians come in, from marimba players to experimental sound artists, artists thinking of using our rehearsal studio as a visual arts studio, working on installations. It's been amazing to watch the wide variety of different artists and techniques throughout the course of the year.
I am most excited about experiencing live art in person, in a room with more than 200 strangers. I strongly believe that experiencing a work of art together is a way to build community. And when we walk into an experience, we are one way, and then we sit down and the lights get dark, and then we share a range of emotions or responses, and we walk out closer to each other than we were on the other end. And I cannot wait for that. I want On the Boards to be strong and ready to welcome its community back with open arms.